Hello friends, my name is Chaitanya. I am an advocate practicing at Kakinada, Andhra Pradesh. In my last lecture, I told you about case diary, police report or charge sheet and inquest. In this lecture, I want to tell you about jurisdiction of criminal courts in enquiries and trials, cognizance of offences by magistrate and complaint to magistrate. Coming to the first topic, that is jurisdiction of criminal courts in enquiries and trials. Local jurisdiction of the courts and the police, sections 177 to 189. Local jurisdiction of the courts and the police, sections 177 to 189. Local jurisdiction of the courts and the police, sections 177 to 189. Jurisdiction means power or authority. Sections 177 to 189 deal with venue and place of trial. It is one of the common law principles of England that all crimes are local and justicable by local courts only within whose jurisdiction they are committed. Hence, crimes are in their nature local and the jurisdiction of criminal courts is local. In essence, it is the cause of action for initiation of proceedings against the accused. This is local jurisdiction of the courts and the police. Coming to ordinary place of inquiry and trial. According to section 177, every offence shall ordinarily be inquired into and tried by a court within local jurisdiction it was committed. However, if the offence is committed at several places or the same is a continuing offence, in such case, section 178 provides that any of the court in whose jurisdiction any part of the said occurrence took place can inquire and try the case. In a case, Unnalal versus State AIR 1964, it was held that the offence of receiving stolen property having not been committed within the jurisdiction of the Railway Magistrate Jodhpur, and the offence of theft itself having not been committed within his jurisdiction, he has the jurisdiction to try an offence under section 411 of Indian Penal Code. This is the decision given in Munnalal versus State AIR 1964. This is about ordinary place of inquiry and trial. Coming to place of inquiry or trial. When it is uncertain in which of several local areas an offence was committed, or where an offence is a continuing one and continues to be committed in more than one local areas, or the offence consists of several acts done in different local areas as per section 178, the court having jurisdiction over any of such local areas is competent to inquire into or try the offence. This is place of inquiry or trial. Coming to offence tribal, where act is done or consequence ensues. Section 179 makes it clear that if anything happened as a consequence of the offence, the same may be inquired into or tried by a court within whose local jurisdiction such thing has been done or such consequence had ensued. In a case, Lee Gunhi versus State of Uttar Pradesh, AIR 2012, Supreme Court, page number 1007, the accused alleged to have not honored his obligation to pay sales consideration for goods supplied by the complainant. It was held that the absence of accused in India when offence was allegedly committed, their foreign nationality and residence outside India do not exempt them from being tried under IPC. This is offence triable where act is done or consequence ensues. Coming to proceedings in wrong place. According to section 531, no finding, sentence or order of any criminal code shall be set aside merely on the ground that the inquiry, trial or other proceeding in the course of which it was arrived at or passed took place in a wrong sessions division, district, subdivision or other local area, unless it appears that such error in fact occasion a failure of justice. This is proceedings in wrong place. Coming to place of trial in case of certain offences. Section 181 determines the place of trial where the offence is committed. Offences committed by letters. According to section 182, any offence which includes cheating may, if the deception is practiced by means of letters or telecommunication messages, be inquired into or tried by any court within whose local jurisdiction such letters or messages were sent or were received, and any offence of cheating and dishonestly including delivery of property may be inquired into or tried by a court within local jurisdiction the property was delivered by the person deceived or was received by the accused person. This is offences committed by letters. Coming to offence committed outside India. According to section 188, when an offence is committed outside India by a citizen of India, whether on high seas or elsewhere, by a person not being such citizen on any ship or aircraft registered in India, he may be dealt with in respect of such offence as if it had been committed at any place within India at which he may be found, provided that, notwithstanding anything in any of the preceding sections of this chapter, no such offence shall be inquired into or tried in India except with the previous sanction of the central government. In a case, Tota Venkateswarlu versus State of Andhra Pradesh, AIR 2011, Supreme Court page number 2900, it was held that the offences committed in Botswana by Indian citizen amenable to provisions of IPC subject to limitation imposed under proviso to section 188 of CRPC. This is about offence committed outside India. This is about jurisdiction of criminal courts in enquiries and trials. Local jurisdiction of the courts and police sections 177 to 189. This is about jurisdiction of criminal courts in enquiries and trials, local jurisdiction of the courts and the police sections 177 to 189. The next topic is cognizance of offences by magistrate. Power of magistrate to take cognizance, sections 190 to 199. After jurisdiction of criminal courts in enquiries and trials, the next topic is cognizance of offences by magistrate. Power of magistrate to take cognizance, sections 190 to 199. Sections 190 to 199. The term cognizance has not been defined in the code, but the term cognizance means hearing a matter judicially. It connotes to taking notice of judicially. It indicates the point when a court or a magistrate takes judicial notice of an offence with a view to initiating proceedings in respect of such offence said to have been committed by someone. In criminal proceedings, taking cognizance by a magistrate would mean taking notice of the offence judicially and issue further process. Thus, the term cognizance has the following meanings: taking note of, taking account of, to know about, to gain knowledge about, hearing a matter judicially, taking notice of judicially, awareness about certain things, etc. Cognizance is taken prior to commencement of criminal proceedings. Taking of cognizance is thus a condition precedent for holding a valid trial. Cognizance is taken of an offence and not of an offender. Sections 190 to 199 of the Code deals with the conditions requisite for initiation of proceedings. A person who intends to initiate criminal proceedings has two options. He may give information to the police if the offence is a cognizable one, or he may go to a magistrate and file complaint irrespective of whether the offence is cognizable or non-cognizable. This is about cognizance. Now, coming to taking cognizance of offence. Section 190 outlines as to how cognizance of offences will be taken by a magistrate on a complaint or on a police report or upon information of a person other than police officer or upon his knowledge or suspicion that such offence has been committed. In a case, Basudio Narain versus Emperor, it was observed that a magistrate may take cognizance only on a report of facts by a police officer, but the opinion of the police officer as to whether such facts justify the taking of cognizance is irrelevant. This is taking cognizance of offence. Coming to transfer on application of the accused. Section 191 empowers the Chief Judicial Magistrate for transfer of a case taken on file suo motu by a judicial magistrate concerned, since the magistrate himself being a complainant, there may be scope for alleging prejudice or malice. The refusal of the accused person's request for transfer in such a case would be illegal. This is transfer on application of the accused. Now, coming to making over of cases to magistrates. Section 192 states that a Chief Judicial Magistrate who takes cognizance of an offence by passing administrative order transfers the case concerned to the file of any other magistrate subordinate to him for inquiry or trial. According to this section, the magistrate should have taken cognizance of the case before transferring it. He need not judicially consider the case before making the transfer. This is making over of cases to magistrates. Now, coming to cognizance of offences by courts of session. Section 193 prohibits cognizance of any offence by a court of sessions stepping into the shoes of the court having original jurisdiction, except in cases where power is conferred by the statute. The object of this section is to secure to the person charged of a preliminary enquiry which would afford him the opportunity of being acquainted with the circumstances of the offence imputed to him and enable him to make his defence. This is cognizance of offences by courts of session. Coming to prosecution for the offences against state and criminal conspiracy. Section 196 pertains to offences against the state and for criminal conspiracy to commit the offence. According to this section, no court shall take cognizance of the offence of criminal conspiracy punishable under section 120B of the Indian Penal Code other than a criminal conspiracy to commit an offence punishable with death, imprisonment for life, or rigorous imprisonment for a term of 2 years or upwards without the written consent of the state government or the district magistrate. This is prosecution for the offences against state and criminal conspiracy. Coming to prosecution of judges and public servants. Law does not make any distinction between the acts done by a private person and the acts done by a public servant so far as criminality of the same is concerned. Section 197 only creates a condition precedent for initiation of prosecution of public servants. This is prosecution of judges and public servants. Coming to prosecution of offences subjecting women to cruelty by husband. Section 198 clause A provides that no court shall take cognizance of an offence punishable under section 498A of IPC except on a police report of facts which constitute such offence or upon a complaint made by the person aggrieved by the offence or by her father, mother, brother, sister, or by her father's or mother's brother or sister, or with the leave of the court by any other person related to her by blood, marriage, or adoption. This is prosecution of offences subjecting women to cruelty by husband. Section 198 clause A. Coming to prosecution of husband for rape. Section 198 clause B provides that no court shall take cognizance of an offence under section 376 of Indian Penal Code where such offence consists of sexual intercourse by a man with his own wife, the wife being under 15 years of age, if more than 1 year has elapsed from the date of the commission of the offence. This is prosecution of husband for rape. Coming to prosecution for defamation. According to section 199, only an aggrieved person can move the magistrate in relation to offences relating to the defamation covered under section 499 to section 502 occurring in chapter 21 of the Indian Penal Code. Thus, section 199 is mandatory in nature and only person aggrieved can complain. If the complaint is filed by anyone who is not an aggrieved person, the trial and conviction would be void. In a case S. Kushbu versus Kanyamal and another AIR 2010 Supreme Court page number 3196, it was held that accused in a statement given to news magazine calling for social acceptancy of premarital, not an attack on the reputation of anyone in particular. It does not amount to defamation. This is prosecution for defamation, section 199. This is about cognizance of offences by magistrate. Power of magistrate to take cognizance. Sections 190 to 199. After cognizance of offences by magistrate, power of magistrate to take cognizance, sections 190 to 199. The next topic is complaint to magistrate. Examination of complaint, section 200. The next topic is complaint to magistrate. Complaint to magistrate, examination of complaint, section 200. Examination of complaint, section 200. Complaint is an expression of grievance to magistrate. When an offence is committed, the victim or the aggrieved party has two options, namely to make a report to the officer in charge of a police station or to file a complaint before the judicial magistrate. When a report is made to the magistrate takes cognizance of the offence. The magistrate must not refer the complaint to a police officer. Thus, report is made to the police and complaint is made to the magistrate by which a criminal case may be initiated. According to section 2, clause D of the code, complaint means any allegation made orally or in writing to a magistrate with a view to his taking action under this code that some person, whether known or unknown, has committed an offence but does not include a police report. Coming to examination of complainant. According to section 200 of the code, a magistrate taking cognizance of an offence on complaint shall examine upon both the complainant and the witnesses present, if any, and the substance of such examination shall be reduced to writing and shall be signed by the complainant and the witnesses and also by the magistrate. Under section 200 CRPC, the magistrate himself examines the complainant and the witnesses and records the substance of the same. This is examination of complainant. Coming to essential ingredients of complaint. It must be in writing, though oral complaint is permissible. It must specify the name of the offender if it is known. It must specify the offence. It must state facts relating to offence. It must specify place of offence. It must be addressed to the magistrate. It must have a prayer to take action against the perpetrators. It should be about a non-cognizable offence. It must be signed by the complainant. These are the essential ingredients of complaint. Coming to a question, when complaint is made? When a police officer refuses to register FIR and investigate, a complainant or informant has a right to approach the magistrate by filing a complaint. When such a complaint is received, it is for the magistrate to decide whether he shall take cognizance of the complaint or shall forward the complaint to the station house officer for investigation as provided under section 156 clause 3 of the code. If the magistrate decides to forward the complaint under section 156 clause 3, it is an order passed at the pre-cognizance stage before taking cognizance of the complaint. In a case, Rasiklal Dalpatram Thakkar versus State of Gujarat and others, AER 2010, Supreme Court, page number 715, it was held that the investigating agency cannot refrain from conducting investigation on the ground that it had no territorial jurisdiction to investigate offence. This is the decision given by the Supreme Court in the case Rasiklal Dalpatram Thakkar versus State of Gujarat and others. Coming to postponement of issue of process. Section 202 of the code empowers the magistrate to postpone the issue of process for compelling the attendance of the person complained against and may either inquire into the case by himself or direct an inquiry or investigation by any magistrate subordinate to him or by police officer or by such other person as he thinks fit for the purpose of ascertaining the truth or falsehood of the complaint. A magistrate may refer a case under section 156 clause 3 of the code to the police before taking cognizance of the complaint or under section 202 of the code after taking cognizance of the complaint. In a case, Rosie and another versus State of Kerala and others, AER 2000, Supreme Court, page number 637, it was held that Section 200 requires a magistrate taking cognizance of an offence on a complaint to examine upon both of the complainant and the witnesses present. The proviso to the said section carves out an exception in cases where a complaint is filed by a public servant acting or purporting to act in the discharge of his official duties, or in cases where the court has made the complaint. In such cases, complainant and witnesses need not be examined. If he is satisfied that there is sufficient ground for proceeding, he can straightaway issue process. At this stage, the magistrate has three options: to issue process on the basis of plaint if he is satisfied that there is sufficient ground for proceeding against the accused; to dismiss the complaint; to hold an inquiry. In a case, National Bank of Oman versus Barakara Abdul Aziz, 2013, 2 SCC, page number 488, it was held that in cases where accused resides beyond area over which magistrate concerned exercises jurisdiction, it is incumbent upon magistrate to carry out an inquiry or order investigation under section 202 before issuing process. In present case, matter remitted to magistrate to pass fresh orders in compliance with section 202, uninfluenced by prima facie conclusions of High Court regarding alleged offence of cheating. And this is about the case National Bank of Oman versus Barakara Abdul Aziz, 2013. This is about complaint to magistrate, examination of complaint, section 200. This is the end of this lecture. In my next lecture, I want to tell you about dismissal of complaint, commencement of proceedings before magistrate. So, thank you everyone. Have a nice day.